welcome along. My name is Eddie and this is my vlog, and today is June the 25th. We are going to get this clover rowed up and collected for silage today. So it's been about 4 or 5 days. It's been some really sunny days. We've had a nice sunny, good drying summer here so far, and so yeah, we need to get in here before this dries too much. We can't make this into clover, or we can't make this into clover silage if it dries out too much. So we want to get this rowed up and done now. We are in our 11090, and we're just going to pull that in here. We got the G910 is up at the cow yard. At our dairy yard, that is ready to go. So as soon as we have all this rowed up, that should be all good. And hopefully today, I think I might be doing a little bit of feeding of the cows and the sheep as well during this vlog, because I think it's a little while since I've done that in one of these. Not that it's changed much, just that I like to keep things going. There we go. All of the combs are now into our windrower, so we should be able to start her up, drop it down, and get some rows going. Oh, there we are. Yeah, so get it as close to the side as we can. We have got a little bit of grass mixed in here, but that shouldn't make much difference. It's all going to go to silage anyway, and the grass is, you can still see the grass is fairly wet. But it's not dried to hay, which is fine. It'll all mix in here quite nicely. Now, I want to explain why we have clover on here and why I do clover silage, and why we do. So we basically have a choice as to how we can create feed for the cows and the sheep on here, and we mainly restrict it here to grass and clover type stuff. As I said before, we don't do maize on the farm. It tends to be a little bit wet for it, and it also is the thing that it work well for the cows, but will not work so well for our sheep. Our sheep need the much more grass-based silage from the clover and the grass. So that is why we are much more set up here for grass work in general, but it's one of those things where you kind of don't realize that until you take it on. We do silage with a New Holland forage harvester over on Ballincraig, and we've done maize silage alongside it, just to sort of balance things out up there. Whereas here we definitely do. We definitely have it all grass based. I have considered trying to do a little bit of maize silage, especially because maize silage keeps, or fresh maize in particular, keeps far better than grass does. And so as a result, what we have is sometimes it's easier to keep fresh maize. Well, it's easier to keep fresh maize, full stop, over the winter, and give a nice alternative to feeding the cows grass during that period. But the expense, and as I said, it's not, this area is not that well suited to it. So yeah, it just sort of makes more sense for us to do it all grass wise around here. And you can see this new Pottinger rower. This is doing an absolutely bang up job. Slightly smaller, as I've said before, with the mowers. This is similarly designed for lower horsepower tractors. It's not quite as much width as some of the dual combed or dual rotored windrowers have, but importantly, it is also a lower horsepower as a result. And that means that we can use it on tractors like this 110. Although, to be honest, the bigger ones don't tend to have a massive more or a massively larger horsepower requirement. It's just this one also fits around here quite nicely. Like the others, it's designed for doing stuff in more mountainous terrain as well. Hence the slightly smaller size, along with the slightly smaller horsepower requirement, because getting the big tractors up there is always a problem. Yeah, I'm going to do a third headland just to give myself enough space to turn around with the G910. Oh, sorry, G190. 910, that would be a massive horsepower tractor. No, G190. And that will allow us to just get around here fairly easily, and we can row up the middle of this field then. And get things going, but it's a good one. It's rowing up nicely, and we should create some nice clover silage with this. It looks like it's dry. It's just enough to not clog up our forage wagon, but at the same time not so dry that it won't be able to be done and covered, ready for making to silage. The clover appears to be rowing up well here. We have we've got some good piles. We didn't have too much trouble with the telegraph pole there. We managed to get round it and get everything, and without too much hassle. This tractor is running nicely. I'm hoping that we're gonna have a really good amount of clover silage off here. It is looking very good at the moment. I mean, these are some nice piles. I did toy with the idea of getting the forage wagon in here to get these headlands up. I'm not overly happy about having to drive over my piles on a regular basis. It's gonna take them down a little bit. The forage wagon should still pick it up. But it's not the greatest of things to be driving over my piles and squashing them down. I mean, we're going to be doing we're going to be compacting it when we get it into the silage clamp anyway, of course. But it's going to be it's not good to compact it before I get it there, really. We're sort of pulling into the corner bits there to try and avoid rowing the headland stuff into the main field. Kind of defeats the object of rowing the headlands. But we do have a nice even set of rows here. Back this up, make sure that we get all of this in. There we go. I don't want to miss any. Every single blade of this clover, or every single leaf of this clover counts. Because we're using the forage harvester, or the forage wagon, sorry, we don't have a forage harvester on here. We're using the forage wagon. We're able to pick it all up. It's one of the advantages of using a forage wagon over having bales. Is that we are able to get everything up and not just the stuff that makes up a complete bale, which is, I mean, you're possibly leaving quite a large amount of stuff on the ground if you're using a baler and you don't have a full bale. It can be a considerable amount because the bale doesn't have integrity when once baled, if it's not full. You can kind of do a half-size bale and things, but a lot of the time you just end up with this collapsed lump coming out of the back of the baler otherwise. So yeah, it's one of the reasons why I like a forage harvester, or a forage wagon, sorry. We got a forage harvester. As I said, we got a forage harvester on Ballincray, and switching over here, that is making me a little bit confused. But this is all working very nicely. Let's get this down and round, and away we go. As I'm saying, we don't do bales on here. We do bale the straw. And we have that very big Heston baler for that job. And we create some pretty big bales. Here we are. Let's get... Ooh, that. This does not reverse easily, this windrower. Not at all. It's got a rear turning axle to allow you to get some really sharp turns in at the ends. But the downside of that is that as soon as you reverse it, those rear wheels start turning sharper and sharper and sharper. The more you turn in your reverse, or the more it starts going to the side, and so it's yeah, you just lose it really easily with this in reverse, which makes it fun to park, of course, as well. Right, there we go. Let's... Oh, we're so close to the end of this field, so I'll get this finished off, and then we'll get this all folded up, and go and get our forage wagon. There we go, all folded up, and our combs are back on the back of this. Let's get the gate open. We're looking at a very, very nice set of rows. Shouldn't take... I think we've got fairly large capacity in our forage wagon. But it should be good. And it all should be just up here. Yeah, I parked this up here earlier for ease of use. Because I can then just park this tractor here. And we can run and grab our G190 like so, all connected up and everything. Yeah, because I'm looking at storing more and more of the grass stuff up at this farm, up at the cow farm. It tends to be used in relation to them, but as well as the sheep. But we want a little bit more space for the arable stuff down at the other farm, and we've got space up here. So it works well. And also it may be a case that we build our storage, our grain store, down at the arable farm rather than up here, because again, the store is great up here, but I think we might be a little bit better off with all of that down the bottom, providing there's enough space to move around. That's the big thing. That is going very, very nicely into our forage wagon. And because this is a little bit dried now, this should not bung up the back of this. This absolutely should just work in so far as getting this all done. I'm trying to see. The trouble is with these forage wagons is they fill up from the front towards the back, so it's always very, very hard to see exactly how far they are full. On the plus side, these modern ones, they come with a cutoff, so if you're looking at overloading it, it will cut off. You just need to keep an eye out for that. Otherwise you're just trundling around the field trying to pick up stuff when you're not. But that is looking pretty full. We have a look here. See, we can't look over the top or in the back or anything, so we kind of have to jump up and have a look, and you can see what I'm talking about. So it's all full at the front here, but it's only about half full, maybe not even that, maybe even only a third full overall. So it's yeah, this is why we have the cutoffs. It just means that we don't have to worry about that and go climbing on the equipment all the time. We can just let it go, let it pick up as it is doing, and means that we end up with a nice full wagon at the end of it without breaking anything. Unlike previously, where we've just put grass that is too wet to come out the back and just clogs up the whole works. Now I need to pop out and close the gate. But that is it's a good little forage wagon. This, again, like everything else, this is also tends to get used in the in alpine regions because it's again low horsepower, high for its capacity, and works well. Probably work on the back of our little 110. This, I think. So the cutout has kicked in. We're gonna go and take this over to the over to our silage clamp, and you can see we're gonna get a few decent loads out of this. We can now leave the gate open now that we've got this headland done. We can leave this gate open. One of the nice things about these older tractors compared to the new ones is I can get in either door. Lots and lots of modern tractors, that right hand door is blocked off these days, and it means you have to go the whole way around the tractor to get back in. I understand why. It allows them to put more panels and everything on that side, but it's still hugely annoying. I had to go on a milk run today as well, I think. How are we doing? I think we've got quite a lot in here. Oh yeah, 88,000. We are going to have to do a few milk runs today. The height of summer, calving season in full swing, and yeah, the cows are producing a lot of milk. All right, there we go, and we'll just tip this in here. See it going down fairly quickly. I'm just trying to back it up onto the pile a little bit, because if we can do that, we'll do best. And there we go. And we'll just have a quick look at this. And yeah, so there we go. A nice pile of fresh clover ready for silage. This silage clamp is huge. You can see this silage clamp was built at a time when there was a lot more to this farm than just the few fields we have. To fill that each year is quite an achievement. But I've no doubt that they used to do it. Obviously, not anymore. But yeah, I've no doubt they used to fill that, and exactly how. It gives you an idea of exactly how big at one point this estate and this farm was when you've got silage clamps that big up at the main yard. So we've got about 2.5-ish trailers full off this field, and so far just off the headlands. Which is really good. That is well over 50,000 litres. That's actually closer to I think that's about maybe even 60,000 litres. Let's get this first up. I haven't put my pickup down, but yeah. So that's a good 60,000 litres off just the headlands. I think we're going to end up with like probably about 100,000 litres of clover off here if we're lucky. It would be. This holds 26,000 litres, so that would be only 4 loads off this field, and we're already halfway through our 3rd load. So yeah, that would mean that we'd have far less off the main part of this field than we got off 3 headlands, and I don't think that's the case. I think that we're actually in a really good position with this. And yeah, that we're going to be producing over 100,000 litres of clover off here, which is easily enough for us. I said these are huge silage clamps we've got. They really are, and they're built for a time when these farms were much bigger than they are now. And so yeah, we are actually in a really good place with both of our grass and our clover silage. Both of them are in just a we should have plenty to keep our animals going for the next year. And then the only thing we do still have to do is we need to get some hay done, so that's going to be something to do as well. And you can see there the tractor just speeds up that little bit, and that is just the whole disengaging and lifting up of this forage wagon, which is just great, because otherwise I would trundle along around this field all day without realizing I wasn't picking anything up, which would not be good. But just, yeah, bring this over here, get this done, and yeah, we easily got another trailer. I think we might have somewhere in the region of 130,000 litres of clover off here to silage, which, as I said, that is more than enough clover to keep our animals going. So I don't think I'm going to have to go and speak to any of the other farmers and see if we can top our thing up. It's gonna look a bit weird because this is not gonna look like a very full silage clamp, but that's the thing. We don't need a very full silage clamp. We've got a lot of space. We actually have a lot of space with these silage clamps that we don't need, which would normally make a good area to demolish and put down something alternative. There we go, that's emptying onto the pile. But the thing is that I don't want to. It's such a big area to try and break up and sort, and yeah, there's a lot of pain in doing that and a lot of expense, and I think we can. I think there are alternatives. There are better ways that we can go on the farm than that. So this is our 5th load I'm backing in now. 130,000 litres of clover going into our silage pit in total. Looks like we're going to get another one, a 6th load off of here as well. I'm not sure if it's going to be a full load or a partial load. There's still a fair amount of clover on the field. If there is, if we can do that, then we're looking at we're probably looking at somewhere between 150 and 170,000 litres if this is a full load, because 150,000 litres, that is going to be a good where did I finish? Finished up here. That is going to be a really good amount. It'll be part of a 7th trailer if that happens. As it is, it's going along swimmingly, and yeah, you can see how much we've got left on this field. That very much looks like we're going to get a 6th trailer off here. Although the field is getting narrower with every row now, so it's yeah, what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows left, which is yeah, not bad at all. Actually, probably more than that looking at this. So we'll see how much more we actually get off it. We're coming up to another full trailer full, and consequently the end of the field as well, which is quite something. We are going to get, yeah, we are definitely going to get a 6th forage wagon worth of clover off here. It won't be much of a 7th, but it will be a 7th as well, which is fantastic news. That is gonna be about 160,000 litres off here, I think, which is exceptionally good. Will keep us going for a very long time. By the end of this year, by the end of the autumn, we are going to be fully set up on this farm, and in a great position to go into the 2nd year. it's gonna be good to see. Just to get ourselves properly established. There we go. It's gonna be absolutely wonderful. Right, let's head back out this way. Get this tipped. We've got such a tiny amount left to get off this field. Way. But this has gone well. For our first harvest of clover off here, we're doing brilliantly. As I said before, it doesn't look much sitting in this silage clump, but you compare it to our grass. Now remember that grass there, that is at least 2 or 3 loads we've had to bring that in. The clover is not that far behind of 2 or 3 fields, sorry. The clover is not that far behind off a single field of that is not the same size as the rest of it. So I'm really pleased with this. This has gone very well. Right, and away we go, out and done. A little bit more to do, and then we're going to go on a milk run. I'm going to fill up the milk tanker, take some of that large amount of milk that we have to get delivered down to the shop, or down to the dairy, I should say. There we go. Very little of this left. Yeah. And this is what I mean. If we had a baler on here, this last little bit, you know, full bale, for example, we wouldn't be able to pick this up. But with this, we have, and it's done. There we go. Not that much left there in that trailer. We'll turn that off. And exit the gate. Yeah, I'll just put this back on the path. Such a little amount, but every single litre counts, and that's the thing. The more we get, the you know, it could be the difference between spending a whole load of money and being able to survive for, you know, for a day's worth. Not that this much would survive for a day's worth, but you know what I mean. There we go. Empty out the last little bit. And we are done. There we go. Turn this off here, because we are in a good place. And yeah, so I'm gonna go and get this milk lorry filled up with some milk, run it down to the shop, get that done as my next thing. But we've done what I wanted to cover in the vlog today, so yeah, let's finish it here. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from the farm, please subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.